Hey, I'm Hunt, and this is Hunt on LSU, your channel for LSU Fighting Tiger football talk. Enjoy the video. We want you to leave a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe right below the video. Enjoy. We'll start with some LSU stuff here today, and I will admit this is probably a summer segment because there's not a ton of nuts and bolts substance to it, but it's just something I'm picking up on the internet. And I feel like this is as good a time as any to kind of get to it. And I'd imagine that most of you who are listening or watching on YouTube or digesting this via podcast or however you may be accessing us are on the internet to a certain degree, some more than others, and I'm probably one that's more than others. And I'm talking about recruiting specifically with defensive backs in this cycle. And we understand that LSU got a commitment from Jaboree Antoine from right down the road in New Iberia, where Corey Raymond is from, and he decommitted. And we understand that he's taken a couple of visits, and he's set a new commitment date. That's going to happen on July 20th. It's Florida State, it's Miami, it's LSU, and we don't know what's going to happen there. But it feels like, based on the timeline, that it might not look great for LSU at this commitment date. That's not signing day, but it is this commitment date. So maybe the top in-state defensive back doesn't come to LSU. And we know that DJ Pickett has very much been on LSU's radar as the number one corner in the country by most services. He's been to LSU a handful of times. He's actually given a quote recently talking about Corey Raymond that said, "Me and Coach Raymond, our relationship is like none other." But he's down to LSU, Oregon, and Miami, and he's been to Oregon a lot of times. He's got family connections down on South Beach. And there's a chance that LSU doesn't get DJ Pickett either. So let's just play the hypothetical game. I'll come back and let you know if they get DJ Pickett and Jaboree Antoine or either one. But we'll play the hypothetical game. What if they don't get either one? Well, we know LSU's secondary was bad last year. We know there are a lot of question marks surrounding the secondary this year. We know this is Corey Raymond's first year back on the job. And we know that there are no DBs in this class right now. No corners, no safeties. What if they don't get DJ Pickett or Jaboree Antoine? And I think there are a lot of people on the internet, not everyone, maybe not even the majority, but a lot of people on the internet going, Corey Raymond wasn't recruiting at the end. They didn't do anything special at Florida. Now he's come back here. He can't get the guy from his hometown. He can't get the 5-star he used to get. This is a mistake. It was a mistake bringing him back here, and this is the proof. Get him out. Again, not the prevailing thought, but I'm on the internet. I'm on the On3 message boards. I see you on Twitter. I see you on Tiger Droppings. I see you sometimes in the Bayou Ford chat. And it's a talk show, so we'll address it. Here's my thing. When I see a player of DJ Pickett's caliber say, "Our relationship is like none other," what else is Corey Raymond supposed to do? All he can do is form a relationship. And he can do that with visits and phone calls and text messages. He can make his pitch about all the high-profile defensive backs, both from Louisiana and from out of the state, that he's brought in and developed into Thorpe Award winners and first-round draft picks and eventual Pro Bowl players. What else is he supposed to do? He can't lock him in the back of his trunk, wait till signing day, jam the paper down his throat, and throw him in a dorm room. NIL is going to play a big factor here. And I got news for you. The position coaches don't make a lot of NIL calls. They can express how much X player means to the class, what their plan is for this player, and how important it is to reel that person in. And perhaps at that point, the head coach, the collective, whoever's making those decisions, I don't even know. But I feel pretty confident that Bo Davis and Brad Davis and Corey Raymond and Joe Sloan aren't dragging boosters down the hallway and forcing them to sign checks. And nobody in Eugene, Oregon is forcing Phil Knight to do anything. Phil Knight is 86 years old. And you got Rick Neuheisel going on the air on SiriusXM saying, It's common knowledge that Phil is spending unlimited NIL money because he knows his time's running out and he wants Oregon to get over the hump. I got a hard time calling Corey Raymond to the carpet if DJ Pickett ends up at Oregon. He's from South Florida. I got a pretty good idea why he's going to Oregon. And I could listen to the folks from Miami go, I got a pretty good idea why he's going to LSU. They dropped a bigger bag. And that's just the way every single fan base is going to react to every recruit that doesn't sign with them. But I'm just trying to evaluate LSU's staff members and how they handle things. I would really prefer it if Corey Raymond got Jaboree Antoine in the boat. They're both from New Iberia. It's in this state. It's a position of need. It's a good player. That needs to happen. But I also am not going to boil everything down to one guy in the state. Sometimes kids want to move on. I don't know exactly what happened to cause Jaboree Antoine to decommit. That's beyond my pay grade here. And that's why we call on Billy and we call on Shay and we call on Sonny and we talk to Preston. And that's why we do that. But I don't know. And maybe there was a mistake made there or miscommunication. I'm not sure. But I can't boil everything down to just that. Here's what I can do. I can assess the talent level in LSU's secondary and then watch the play on the field and see how that evens out. Basically, what I'm telling you is I need my position coaches to be hard workers. I need my position coaches to be technicians. I need my position coaches to be teachers and developers. And they've got to have a recruiting edge. But if you're going to lose out on some guys because LSU can't quite drop as much money as the next team, that's not going to be the first thing I run you out of town for. Development has to happen. And Corey Raymond has a strong, strong history of developing cornerbacks, both elite level guys that came in highly regarded and some 3 and 4 stars that came in that weren't the highest profile players in their class that became great players on the field. If LSU is consistently blowing assignments left and right, never making a play on the football with their defensive backs like we saw last year, well, some of that is going to be on Corey Raymond. If Jaboree Antoine doesn't come to LSU, I'm not going to love that. But I'm going to need more information than to just run Corey Raymond out of town. And I'll tell you this. If DJ Pickett drops a quote that says, me and Coach Raymond, our relationship is like no other, and then he goes to Oregon, I'm not blaming that on Corey Raymond at all because that's all he can do. I may be overreacting here to a small subset of people who were unhappy that Corey Raymond left LSU for Florida, determined after that LSU's defensive back play was deteriorating and he wasn't any good anyway, and then couldn't go back on that statement because they had already made it, so now they're just going to go, well, he's not good anyway, we shouldn't have had him back. I don't believe that. I believe Corey Raymond is a great recruiter. The game's changed. I believe Corey Raymond has developed great defensive backs in this state, in this uniform, and I believe he's going to do that moving forward. And I'm not going to boil my entire opinion of Corey Raymond down to 2 guys, which, oh, by the way, neither has committed anywhere as of this moment. I just feel like there's some unfair barbs being thrown, by my estimation, because you're reading recruiting prediction machines and crystal balls and perusing message boards and channeling and shuffling through social media. Let's see how the dust settles. And more importantly than Jaboree Antoine or DJ Pickett, perhaps, how about those guys that they've got out there play a little better this year? Let's see the group of guys that he's inherited develop and look better this year than they did last year. Because to me, that's now the most important thing for position coaches. Head coach has got a lot of roles, and he's got to hire coaches and deal with the boosters and probably handle what NIL money is diverted where, handle the media, make game day decisions. To me, the position coaches, you got to foster those relationships. You got to work hard and you got to develop. But you've got to handle what goes on the field right now and let the NIL dollars in recruiting take care of themselves because that's just over their head. So I'm not going to bash Corey Raymond for that as we sit here right now. We'll see how it goes. DJ Pickett going to commit here later on this summer. Jaboree Antoine set his date for July 20th. I'll tell you this, if both those guys get in the boat, that's going to be a really good deal for LSU. You get one, I'll feel pretty good about it. You get neither, yeah, that's not good, and you've got to go get somebody in this class that's up to your standard. Kind of getting later, early, as we've entered this new era of signing in December instead of February. A lot of players trying to get their name where it's going to go by the end of the summer, but you got to make it happen because having a class that comes in with no safeties and no corners, not an option. We'll see. If you're looking for LSU football content, you can find it on YouTube. Hunt on LSU is our LSU YouTube channel. It makes it easy to digest that content because you don't have to sift through our entire shows via podcast or on YouTube, wherever you're finding it. You can just head over to YouTube, do Hunt on LSU. It's all LSU football. It's all it is on that YouTube channel. So go ahead and check that out. Subscribe up to the channel so you can get it right to your homepage when you log on to YouTube. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.